Now, this may come as a shock to the 50% people that don't like the Man of Steel movie, but I actually enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed it for what it was. It was okay at best. But mostly, it's the origin story of Superman. We've seen this like a billion times already. Krypton's destroyed. General Zod, Jor-El, the infant son Kal-El, who would be Clark Kent, the first naturally born Kryptonian child in centuries. Jor-El sacrifices himself, is killed in the battle when General Zod launches a coup d'état against the government because of their failure to maintain order, and especially after causing the destruction of Krypton due to years of industrial mining, um, and launches a rebellion, which is quickly suppressed by the council, by forces loyal to the council. And for some reason, there was one thing that always bugged me, is Zod and a handful of the survivors are convicted of treason, okay, and imprisoned in the Phantom Zone just seconds before Krypton explodes. Why not just let them stay on Krypton and die with them? Like, that was one thing that always bugged me that actually makes or breaks the movie. That was the one thing that I always questioned. Like, I'm not 100% certain why they didn't just do that, but like, it just confused me. Like, I know they want to do things the right way, because if they did it Zod's, then Zod would technically win if they did it his way of how he wanted to do things. But at the same time, you have to think, does the death penalty not exist in Krypton? Okay. No, it doesn't? Okay. But we all know the story is how he survived the Kryptonian destruction, how Superman is created in the world. And there are several controversies I like to talk about specifically in this video. One is the part where his adopted father, Jonathan Kent, says maybe let them die in the bus incident. Yeah, I kind of have to agree with you on that one. Agree with the half of the fans that hated it, because it was sort of what, like, it could be, he could have just said I don't know. It's conflicting. Like, I get the reason why he felt so conflicted about it, because he doesn't want his son to be discovered yet and risk being hurt or experimented on by science, because the government will do fucked up things, because it's the government and they're evil. Ooh. And whatnot. So I understood that, but at the same time, on the other end of that spectrum, you're thinking, so you would have let a bunch of children in their youth die. Um, yeah, I don't know how to think about this, man. Like, that's fucked up. That's seriously fucked up. But I get your other reason, but, like, no, I'm just gonna say it's fucked up. Like, you're in a no-win situation pretty much by this. And then Jonathan dies in the tornado while refusing to let Clark to save him, even though there's like 100 different ways Clark could have saved him without exposing his powers. And even if he got hit by the tornado, he would survive because that doesn't kill him. So, like, I get why he gestures not to, because he doesn't want his son to be discovered even after death. But, like, at the same time, that's like probably several different ways they could have really worked that way, how to make it unavoidable, but instead you could actually avoid it. Just save a dog that would eventually be killed off, because, well, it won't outlive it by a collective several years, since its aging is much different than humans. So, yeah, that's debatable. And I kind of did like the actress for Amy Adams. I think her name was, yeah, Amy Adams as Lois Lane. I thought she was enjoyable, along with Henry Cavill playing Clark Kent, Superman Kal-El. And I really did love Zod when he overacted a lot, when he screams, "I will find him!" and screaming, "Where's the Codex?" And I'm thinking, okay, you are very enjoyable. Like, You are just hilarious with this role. Like I get your motivations. I get you're trying to be serious, but okay, you have got to be thinking, okay, Zack Snyder's directing. They have no management here. In fact, it's so disorganized, I don't even know what's going on anymore, which I will get to in my Dawn of Justice video, since I just recently finished watching that as well. Um, at the time of the video, but yeah, I get to overactive mentality. Yeah, like at one point he's very restrained, but then he lets loose like a certain actor from Jupiter Ascending. Go! Oh man, that was yeah that was the highlight of Jupiter Ascending. But the other controversy is the very destructive climax they have in the Man of Steel movie. Okay, I gotta be honest. When one guy who has the power of God pretty much at this point versus a collective several powerful gods, um, what the fuck do you think was gonna happen? Like, it's to be expected that it's going to be very destructive and apocalyptic. So, what the fuck? And like I listened to Bob Show's review when he reviewed reviewed the New 52 War Justice League film animated film and how it was just as destructive at times, but no one complained about that. And like some people were defending that, oh, it's because not a lot of people really, it's a direct to DVD movie, so people wouldn't really know that much. And like this is Warner Brothers. If this was the asylum that I could get, but this is Warner Brothers. They would advertise this the fuck out of it. So how is this different? Why? Because they could just redraw everything, whereas this is based in reality, where it's next to fucking impossible to fix everything. Okay, if that's your logic, but that's not really making any sense. So mine was all right with the destructive climax. In fact, did everyone forget? Let's see, Superman in the animated series doing things that were destructive. Dragon Ball Z doing things that are destructive, even including the deaths of billions, including planets being destroyed, and no one complained about that. I think maybe I could be wrong on that, but this was before the politically correct era, so there's a chance that this was way before. This is a chance that no one really complained about the destructiveness of Dragon Ball Z. So there's that. And then we get to the final controversy of the movie. Superman breaks Zod's neck. And I'm thinking, I'm okay with that. Like, this is an inexperienced Superman. This is not a seasoned veteran Superman like the Supermans of before, where Superman is already Superman and he has experience under his belt. Like, this is a new Superman. Like, he just started out. So I would get this part where he would kill him and then he would make this moral code of never to kill again, since unless of course it's for a very very like, okay, I get what they were trying to do, but Zod, um okay, I get, but Zod's firing his eye beams, his heat vision or lasers out of his eyes to target the family. I was like, dude, he's moving at a very slow rate because Superman hasn't. You could just move out of the fucking way. And like if they had done it a lot differently, like Zod was unrestrained by Superman and tried to beam his way to them, or was about to, and then Superman speeds up and breaks Zod's neck. That would have made more sense. So, yeah. So I was alright with that. I didn't really complain much about that since I actually believed. Well, it's it actually makes sense to me. Like, this would set his moral code to never kill again unless it was for a very very good reason he had no choice to. But yeah, ultimately I don't get the hate for it. Like, I get it's Superman, but this was a very different Superman than established ones like in the Justice League series or Batman or the Batman series when he showed up, or in the Superman animated series where he was already straight up good and whatnot. This was a different one. They try to ground it into reality, like try to give a realistic point of view of what could happen if we really had this, and what is the catalyst of things. So ultimately, I did enjoy this movie. It's not the best Superman movie, that's to be debated, but it was a solid start for the DC cinematic universe. I ultimately enjoyed it. I couldn't wait what was gonna happen next, and I'll get to Batman v Superman and Dawn of Justice soon. This was Neo Reality Entertainment. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and donate. Stay tuned for more.